Hey y'all! So I am here to answer some questions that I had you ask me on Twitter and Facebook. I figured we would just have a chat and chill and talk. I got my tea, so you know it's real. I don't know what that means. So at Mackenzie Music with a 3 instead of an E asks, what's your writing process? My writing process really differs. It really depends on if I'm writing by myself, if I'm writing with somebody else, if I'm writing with somebody who's like a producer with, you know, tracks who can build things around it. Sometimes it starts with a chorus idea and maybe I don't come up with a verse or something for a while. Like sometimes I write songs in pieces, so I can't really give you a definitive answer to that question because it really just, it's all over the board. There's really no rhyme or reason until there's rhyme or reason. So, next question comes from Jesus Alfredo Sanchez. What do you take as inspiration for your music? Any favorite artists? Gosh, inspiration comes from all over the place. I feel like these answers are so cliche and vague, but for me, whenever I'm writing in particular, oftentimes it comes from a place of experience, something that I've just recently been through or somebody I know has been through, or something that I see might even just inspire me with just a word. And I'll just write that down in my notes on my phone and just save that. And most of the time I have no idea what it even means. So take a sip. Yeah, most of the time it's just words and phrases and things that I've seen. There have been times where, like, if you know my song Better, for instance, I remember I was taking a walk with my mom and my dog, and we were having one of our long kind of, you know, existential conversations, things about life and friends and family and everything in between. Something that she said gave me this incredible idea to go and write Better, and I think later that night I ended up writing the chorus and the rest just kind of followed. So inspiration for my own like personal music just comes from all over. In terms of artists, a lot of times I get a creative boost from just listening to something that's intriguing to me. Some of my songs have been like direct kind of results of listening to somebody else that just kind of gave me that boost, or writing with other people. Generally it's just what I experience around me that inspires me. Different stories, different people, sights mostly. When I travel, the energy from other cities just kind of is a whole new thing, so location's a big thing as well. And any favorite artists, I have many favorite artists. I seem to kind of list the same ones whenever I do these videos, but Glenn Hansard is one of my favorite human beings. Casey Musgraves is incredible. Chris Stapleton, I like a lot of like country lyricists. Kendrick Lamar is a genius. So it's kind of all across the board, and that list is always growing as I continue to kind of learn more about other artists. So that's kind of the long and short of that answer. More long than short, but you know, that's just me. Okay, so Guy Jones asks, any other instruments that you'd like to learn how to play? Absolutely. I'd love to even be a better guitarist. I admittedly have lots of room to grow and become better, but I think I'd love to play piano really, really well. That's something that I'm kind of a hack at the current moment. I could play a few songs that kind of semi-well. Playing drums I feel like would make me look really badass. Drums or piano, just to be better. I don't even know where to begin with drums, but I feel like I'd look really cool playing drums, so that's the main reason, just to look cool. And piano, I just love to play some classical pieces. Maybe I'll do that when I'm older. I don't know what I'm saying. At Diana Lovato, 24, asks, what's your favorite thing about writing a new song? I think my favorite thing about writing a new song is playing it back and hearing that back and seeing like this thing that ceased to exist just, you know, an hour or two before this moment is suddenly like a thing, you know, suddenly like a piece of music. Probably my favorite thing about writing is almost like not writing. that probably doesn't make any sense. I think just how gratifying it feels to hear it being played back to you, and then sometimes I'll hear certain moments in a song, certain lyrics and words that are strung together that come back at me, and I think, oh my gosh, I wrote that? Like, you know, you're almost surprised at yourself. And I always reference something that I heard Paul McCartney say about songwriting, is how magical it is, because it's almost like this other unlocked part of your brain is doing all that work. And sometimes the writing process is just kind of maddening. Sometimes you're sitting in a room, whether you're alone or sitting in a room with other people, where you're sitting there like, I just said sitting like 7 times. You're like trying to think what's gonna fit in here, and I found myself just sitting in silence, just thinking, trying to figure out what the right thing is to say next. So when you finally get it right and it fits like a puzzle piece and you hear it back, and it's like, that's my favorite part. It's so exciting. Like, so recording and hearing it back is like that gets me high. I love that. And also just the kind of catharsis that I get out of writing and sorting my thoughts out through that. That's my outlet. It's just kind of creating poems to music and seeing if my life makes any more sense when I'm done. By the way, all of the music that you've been hearing throughout the video, and this sound, that sound, and also this sound, all came from AudioBlocks.com, which has one of the largest audio stock libraries out there. There are over like 100,000 loops and clips, music and sound effects, all that good stuff that makes your videos extra special. It gives them an extra, what am I trying to say? Splash? An extra splash. Anything that you choose from comes with a royalty-free engagement, which means you don't have to worry about being hit with copyright claims. So go to audioblocks.com/YouTube or click on the link in the description box below. And that is like the most YouTuber thing to do. Click on the link in the description. But anyway, you can start downloading sounds and cool stuff and get 7 days free. You can get pretty creative with it too. If you do, be sure to share your creations with the hashtag creator2creator number 2. Do a number 2 and share it with the world. Or don't. So Muhammad Amen asks, who inspired you to sing and play guitar? My big sister was probably number 1, because she's a singer as well, and she's an actress and a dancer. We are 10 years apart. She's older than me. So like when I was real little, she was a teenager, and really anything she would do I wanted to like emulate. So I would sing when my sister would sing. She was really into musical theater, so she was always singing Wicked and Rent and Chicago and all these Broadway shows. So I just tried to be like my sister and sing. So she was probably the first person. And then when it came time to play guitar, I started listening to artists like Jason Mraz and Colby Calais and Corinne Bailey Rae, and real artists like instrumentalists and lyricists. And then came the like messiah of my world when I was 15, Taylor Swift. So playing guitar, she really was a huge inspiration for that. Actually, the very first song I ever learned to play on guitar, fun fact, was Hey Stephen by Taylor Swift. She really helped me see the whole bigger picture of artist and of artiste, the artist hand gesture. At Chloe_Desu asks, how many hats do you have and what made you love to wear them? So if I look at my wall at the present moment, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19. I think I'm missing one. I'm pretty sure it's like 20 at the moment. I've got a lot of hats, and I don't intend on slowing down. I think I'm just gonna have a whole closet devoted to them one day. What made me love to wear them? I found a hat at a store one time at the King of Prussia Mall, and I was like, I wonder if I could pull that off. I don't know, like little did I know it was gonna become a thing. I just bought it like, maybe I'll give this a try. As soon as I started, you know, wearing it, I was like, hey, I think I could do this. I think I could rock this. It just seemed to top off literally every outfit that I wore. Like it just was the perfect accessory, because I'm not one for jewelry that much. Like now I'm into chokers, but I don't wear a lot of jewelry, I don't wear a lot of like bells and whistles, but the hats just seem to be like, what's missing from this outfit? There. But yeah, it's just kind of my thing. I do sort of feel like there's something missing when I'm not wearing a hat. That was the evolution in a nutshell of the hat signature. Justin Lau asks, how do you write the lyrics for your songs? One of the most recent songs I wrote alone last week. It was something that had just gone on, something that I had just experienced. And to me, I just decided I don't care if this song ends up being pop, country, rap, or whatever, you know, I just need to say this. For me that day, the lyrics just flowed. When I really need to say something, I usually just let it flow, and what happens, happens, and that's how I write those lyrics. But sometimes I'll write within a framework of a concept. I wrote a song called Chemical with a couple awesome writers in Nashville. We were thinking of words that related to chemical and science, and so you can start playing with imagery that way. It really depends though. So Kirsten Andres asks, where do you hope to be in the future, musically and personally? Also, I love your music. And also, Kirsten, I always see your stuff. I think I've probably shouted out to you before. I always see your comments and I love reading them, so thank you. Where do I hope to be in the future? I think as I get older, the things that I want really out of life kind of start changing. I think that's always going to be the way it is in life. I just hope, first of all, to be healthy, because I've learned that that's just number one over anything. I want my family to be around me and happy and healthy. So personally, that's what I want. And I could say, you know how people say, like, in 10 years I want to be married, like that would be cool, but if I'm not, whatever. I've just learned also that I just have to expect the unexpected, because I don't know what's gonna happen. Musically, I think I'm always going to be evolving, so I just hope that I'm in a good place in the future, and I'm always striving to be a better musician. A Grammy wouldn't be a bad thing to have. I can see that in my crystal Trump orb. I just hope to be happy, healthy, making music, becoming better. With a Grammy or two, even if I don't have that, it doesn't mean I'm any less of a musician. It just wouldn't hurt. I'll take it. Thank you, sure. This may not be a question. Jawad Ahmed, please cover Slipknot. Please cover Slipknot stuff. It says snuff, actually, if possible. I could do my best impression. So that's that. I cannot read this name, so you will have to forgive me. This person says, hi there. How often do you write songs? I have hair in my mouth. Do you usually write songs when you're happy or when you're sad? Greetings from Greece. So I recently got signed to a publishing deal, which means I get to write as a songwriter for a living. So ever since then, I've been writing so much more frequently than I think I ever have before. It's a deal that's based in Nashville, which is basically songwriting capital of the world. So spending time in Nashville has been so eye-opening for me. I never could picture myself writing at that pace, but now it's sort of like at least a few times a week. And then there are some weeks here and there where I just let myself breathe a little bit, recharge, so I go out and do stuff like travel or, you know, go to the mall, do whatever, and just kind of free my mind so that I can get those ideas flowing and juices flowing again. But there are times where I'm just on a roll and I just keep going. I'm usually happy or sad when I write. I think I write when I'm happy and sad. I don't think there's any one more than the other. I write about everything, so it's happy, sad, and in between, and whatever else. Feeling quirky or silly or confused. That's probably the best thing. I write when I'm confused, when I'm trying to figure shit out. It helps me kind of make sense of the world around me or the world within me. That's when I write. So that should just about sum it up on this lovely day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today virtually and listen to me ramble about the weirdness that is my life. I will see y'all soon. I've got some exciting videos coming up. Make sure to follow me on my social media accounts as well, because I'm always posting shit there. And am I convincing you yet? I have Snapchat too. I used to say like I wasn't into Snapchat, but now I'm into it. I love it. So make sure to follow me there and see any updates about new music and new videos. And I will see y'all next time I see y'all. Bye!